Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Heavy Metal Devils. Danny here, bringing you some of the latest Manchester United news. And actually, just before we get into the news today, I want to give a big thank you to everyone that subscribed over the last 24 hours. I was kind of expecting to maybe hit 100 subs yesterday, but we got well past the 200 mark. And let's keep that going. Hit that subscribe button and let's get to 300 as soon as we can. Can't do it without you, and I thank you all so much. But let's just get right into the news, and some big news breaking on Rasmus Hojlund this morning. It looks like Manchester United are preparing a £50 million bid for Rasmus Hojlund, which falls around just under 60 million euros, which I think falls in line with what Atalanta are looking for. I know, they've quoted saying they wanted 80 million, but I think around 60 is reasonable and realistic for them. I do expect them to take this bid. If not, maybe push it up to that 60 million, because I think 50 million pounds is about 58 million euros. So maybe just an extra couple million will get that to around that 60 million euro mark, where Atalanta should accept this bid. Now, I would expect this to be wrapped up quickly after the Onana deal, not during the Onana deal. Maybe just before the preseason starts, we might have this done, or maybe during the first couple games of preseason. The biggest thing is that if we're going for a young striker like this, we need him in for the preseason to understand the system and understand the players he will be playing with. So it does look like we're moving quickly on this Rasmus Hojlund deal. I think 50 million should do it. If not, is just under what Atalanta want. I can see this being wrapped up really quickly once Onana is complete, which will hopefully be in the next coming hours or days. As I reported yesterday, the deal looks to be imminent. So yeah, let me know what you think about Rasmus Hojlund. I'm actually quite excited. I know he is quite fresh, quite new. He had his breakout season last year. It wasn't a prolific season, but for someone of his age to be doing that kind of work, it looks very exciting. And what he's doing on his international squad is actually really good. I think he's got like 5 goals in 3 games or something about that sort. Maybe comment below, tell me about his international career. I think it's around 5 goals in 3 games, something like that. He's dubbed the next Haaland. I'm assuming that's only because they have a similar last name. The only thing I'm worried about is having that Haaland comparison. I don't want him to be compared to Haaland. I just hate comparisons in general. But anyway, £50 million bid for Rasmus Hojlund. Will that get the deal done? Comment below. Tell me what you think. And let me know, are there any other strikers that we should be looking at that are not named Harry Kane or Victor Osimhen? Because I think both of those might be out of the window. I'm still holding on to Kane a little bit. I want to see what happens if he does not go to Bayern Munich. Let's see what happens around August, early September time with Harry Kane, and see how our financial situation is going on at that time. Anyway, moving on from Rasmus Hojlund, it looks like Fred is about to be leaving in the next days, maybe in the next week or so. He has posted on his Instagram several pictures of London and the London taxis. I don't know, maybe he's just on a holiday to London, but if I was him during the summer, a holiday to London would not be on the cards for me. So it looks like he is preparing a move to Craven Cottage to go play for Fulham, which I think is a great thing for them. They seem to enjoy their Brazilians. Andreas Pereira went there and actually did really well after being somewhat of a flop at Manchester United. So maybe he can go link up with his other Brazilian teammates and get the job done. I think he would be a great fit for Fulham, and I think that's a good £20 million into our budget to help get another striker, maybe get another midfielder or even a defender later on down the transfer window. So how do you guys feel about Fred leaving? I'm all about it. I'm not glad to see him go. I don't want to be mean like that, but I think it's the right time to let him go. He is a very frustrating player to watch. When he's good, he's good. When he's bad, boy, he is bad, isn't he? And now I guess we're also just waiting to see what happens with McTominay. There's been rumors about him maybe going to Roma, going to West Ham, and even going to Celtic. I don't actually see him going to Celtic. I think he would be an awesome fit at Roma. Go watch my video from yesterday evening. I speak all about where I think McTominay should go head to. But I do see a scenario with both of them leaving, but not without another midfielder coming in, and that could be Romeo Lavia. I reported on this the other day that Liverpool are out of the race, so maybe this would be another deal that would be done towards the end of the transfer window when we start doing our usual panic buys, right? So yeah, let me know what you think about Fred to Fulham. I think this is going to be happening in a matter of days. Anywhere between 15 and 20 mil, I would say. I'm hoping that we get that 20 mil. We need to start selling players better and increasing our budget, even though no one really knows what this budget is. It's always changing. And as we keep moving, let's talk more about this takeover nonsense going on. So apparently Sheikh Jassim is receiving help from the United investors as he looks to try and wrap up a deal to buy the club ASAP. The Qatari banker is determined to win the takeover battle and secure the 100% of the ownership that he wants. Obviously the saga has been going on for over 7 months, which I know in footballing terms that is a very long time, but in American sports, it's about average. I mentioned this the other day or yesterday that I'm a big Phoenix Suns fan, and it took them about almost around 5 to 6 months to sell the team last summer. So this is quite a normal thing in American sports, but it is a very annoying thing. It's also claimed that the investors of the United A shares, which aren't the higher shares, I think the B shares are the most important ones, but they're claiming that the investors in the United A shares have been putting big pressure on the board's directors to take this Qatari bid. The deal would see the Glazers receive the money much, much sooner than Ratcliffe's deal. And we all know how much they love money. I think they're just trying to squeeze a bit more out, as usual. I don't get it. Apparently $6 billion is not enough. But there's been a lot of pressure coming now from the shareholders to get this deal done as soon as possible. And not just shareholders. There's been, I think Dwight York has come out today and said, this needs to be done now. This is getting absolutely ridiculous. He's demanding a resolution. I'm not sure how much he can demand, but yeah, it's just loads of people now coming out and just trying to demand this gets done quickly. So yeah, I know this is dragging out, guys. It will be done eventually. Like I've said on every single video, it will not be done until the end of the transfer window. I'm hoping by January we can have a good, maybe a new ownership transfer deals go through. I know January is not a time where we do a lot of business, but if we're doing well in the league and we have new owners, they can possibly give us those funds to help us push us even further. So I'm looking forward to January. I think that's going to be quite a big transfer time for Manchester United. We'll see what happens then. In other news, also Mason Mount has been talking about getting the number 7 shirt, how he needs to earn the fans' trust in wearing that shirt. So he understands that his performances need to match the shirt number and the iconic shirt number. So he's asked, he has said that he does understand he needs to earn our fan base's trust because, he is coming from Chelsea. He's not really one of us. He's not come through our system. And I think he will. I think he's going to tear it up in that number 7 shirt. I think there's going to be a few weeks where he's still getting up to the speed of the system, but after that, once he starts linking up with Bruno and Casemiro and the wingers, I think our midfield is going to be awesome. I'm still curious to see which one of Bruno and Mount is going to be more of that 8 player, sitting back defending. I can actually see Bruno playing next to Casemiro because he has an endless battery and is better at spraying big balls forward. So I'd actually expect to see Mason Mount possibly in the 10, Bruno in the 8, and the Casemiro role in the 6. Um, but yeah, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe we're going to go with 2 8s and push high up. But I do worry about that. But it might all change with the inclusion of Andre Onana. We might be able to actually start playing a more up tempo, more high press style now that we have a goalkeeper that can actually pass the ball further than 10 yards. Well, we don't have him yet. We're about to have him. I'm about 95% sure on that. So yeah, let me know what you think about Mason Mount taking the number 7 shirt, Fred leaving, Rasmus Hojlund looking like we are wrapping that deal up as fast as we can after this Onana deal, and the continuing nonsense of this Manchester United takeover. Let me know what you think about all these things down below, and don't forget to hit subscribe, share, like, comment. Let's get to 300, maybe even today, and I'll see you all on the next one. Later.